Hi everybody, it's Bartie Joyce here, back again with another vlog. It's day 19 of my 30-day November series. And before I start this vlog, I just want you to all know that this is a happy vlog. But I'm going to talk to you about, it was 15 years ago today that my accident happened. I got run over. Basically, I was helping one of my mates deliver the local newspaper, and I thought I was going back to get some more papers, but apparently I already had them, so I don't remember that at all. But I then got knocked over by a car, a speeding car, and when I was in but this firefighter happened outside the Honton's fire station, which was lucky, and this fireman put he had these big conker keys, and he put an oxygen mask on my face, which basically saved my life. Because when we went to Exeter, but my head injury was a bit worse than what it first appeared, so we had to go to Bristol, like French hospital, which is no longer there, unfortunately. But they had to. They said then that I would have only a 20% chance of living, but they basically said be prepared for the worst. But and my family and my folks and that was saying, no, that's not going to happen. Like, I'm going to still be here. But they said if I was going to if I was to recover, I would have I would be like permanent brain damage, which luckily I'm not, which is awesome, which is I'm very grateful for. But I spent 11 days in a coma. But I broke all down my left hand side of my body, which I broke my collarbone, shoulder, my tib and fib, and I think I had lung damage, bleeding on the brain and fluid on the brain. And basically, yeah, I've always been a big guy, but that's what they said basically saved my leg and why I survived the accidents, because I was always an active person. Growing up, I'd do sports every single day. Literally, there wouldn't be a day that I wouldn't do sports. Well, I did a lifeguard course, which I was like the last bit on, which I would have been a qualified lifeguard. I did a St John's ambulance, so like a first aid course. I did karate on a Tuesday and Thursday, and I've always played like football, rugby, and all that sort of side of thing, all that sort of stuff. So which I've always been into my sports. I always used to have to play against the men, actually, because my age group, I was a bit too strong and a bit too chunky for them to play against them, because sometimes I would tackle them a bit too hard and do a bit of damage, which wasn't my fault. I got told to basically go in strong and that. But yeah, but then obviously I believe that's what's made me who I am today as well. That accident, because obviously I don't know if I'll be doing this right now, like these YouTube videos and things like that. I definitely wouldn't have wrote songs. I don't think I wouldn't have wrote songs that I have written. I wouldn't have done an album. I might be playing the guitar, but I'm not sure. So it's one of those catch-22 sort of things, like would I, wouldn't I sort of thing. Yeah, I can no longer do like karate, rugby, football, and that, because of one, I've got a head injury. Two, I've got like my legs a bit like left me with some sort of shortness, so I have to have a crutch with me, and I have epilepsy as well, which is obviously something that I've got to take care of and make sure that I don't overdo it and get too stressed and things like that, because otherwise I'll have like seizures and things like that, which we don't want to have them. We don't want any of them. So yeah, it's basically, it's like if anybody's had like a bad accident but they've come out and they think they're worse off, believe me, I've been to a place called Headway, and believe me, I am a lucky chap to what some of the people are like that had like similar accidents to me. Well, there was actually one person that I knew that had an injection in his back, and they put it in the wrong part, and he was brain damaged. It was just like, well, like, what blinking luck can that be, man? It's not very. So I mean, like, you can't wish for much bad luck than that, can you? But I just wanted to make people aware. That's why I've been doing my YouTube videos, because when I do eventually get monetized, it'll be going to Ronald McDonald House Bristol. So everything, every penny. So the more you watch my videos, and the more you'll be helping to support my charity work, me getting obviously money for them, and I've raised like nearly £4,000 for them now as well. So they've even named a room after me, which I was privileged for. Which I've got a video on that. I can put a card on that right now, so you can check that one out. I was blown away by the generosity that they give me there. But people don't realise that what Ronald McDonald House Bristol do. They actually provide home accommodation for families, so they don't have to go backwards and forwards like up and down the country, because you don't know where they live. I mean, we was like 60-70 miles away from where we live. If my mum and dad had to come backwards and forwards every day, which is quite a lot of money, a lot of petrol and that sort of stuff, isn't it? So they really make people welcome at home. They take the weight off the shoulders. That's what I'm going by what my family said. Cause obviously my mum, my dad, my sister, and that were using it at the time, and they were so grateful for having the pressure taken them off them as well. Like they had like rooms there where you could just like have your quiet time, have your time. They'd be there to obviously talk to and things like that, which is what you kind of need, isn't it? That sort of stage, and they would probably really agree. They probably agree with me right now that was, if it wasn't for that sort of facilities, they don't know what they would have done. They probably wouldn't have seen me as much. It would have been more expensive than what it actually was. I've achieved hell of a lot as well since my accident, with obviously the support and the guidance of all the people around me. I've always, one of my biggest goals was to do an album, which I obviously did, which was incredible. I never thought that I'd be able to play the guitar again after having such a tragedy accident, but you can if you put your mind at it. If you wanted to, if you had like a bad accident and you want to play anything or you want to do anything, you can do it at steady pace, at small stages, like steady. I mean, like it's not a race. As long as you get there eventually. There has been a lot of frustration times with me, because obviously because of the way I was before and the way I am now, obviously I have to realise that I can't do it like I was before my accident. So I've got to rethink things and do it a little bit. So I mean, like I write down a hell of a lot of things now, which actually helps me out personally with like my memory and that. But it's a good way to get things off your chest as well, because I kept a lot of things bottled up beforehand and that. But I mean, like they say, like inspiration comes from somewhere, and unfortunately it has had to come from something so tragedy. But I'm making it a positive now. So always make sure that you're happy every day. I mean, I know sometimes it's hard, but it's a it's good to be happy and live your life, people, because you don't know what's around the corner. So be happy, be who you are, and don't listen to anybody that don't take things too seriously if they don't like something, because as long as you like it, people will do too. But yeah, so basically, just please don't think of this as a sad video. I want you all to just say to a person that you haven't said to a while that you love them, because you don't know what's going to happen today, tomorrow, or the next day. So tell your friends, your family that you love them, and tell them that regularly. So that's going to be it for this week's vlog, people. I'm Bartie, Joyce. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!